Well, hi. I'd like to say welcome back, but I guess that would be welcome back to me. A good friend of mine, Marcia, reached out to me because she had not seen me on Facebook, and I know I've been very remiss. And I thought this uh, Moxie that I created, I'm going to say probably a month or two ago, well before our current situation, seems very apropos. So I thought I would dust it off a little bit and talk to you about managing your time in the midst of chaos. Now, again, I wrote this well before the current pandemic. Not predictive by any measure. I don't claim to have any superpowers, but if you're like me, you're kind of, I don't use the word sitting around, but you maybe find yourself wondering, what should I be doing? What can I do? I don't know how it is for you, but I feel like the time is just flying by. And even though I'm one of the lucky ones, I work in a what's it called, an essential business. It is something that I'm able to work from home. That's what I meant to say. And so not having to commute seems like I should have all this time on my hands, but all this brain work is much more exhausting than physical work. And so I'm not quite as productive as I would like to be. But we can talk about that, right? So what can we do? What should we do? First of all, I know there's maybe a pressing urge to want to help, and there are some opportunities out there if that's what you're looking for, but that's obviously the subject of another video. Today, I want to talk about what you should or could be doing at home to help you business-wise and or career-wise. So, we have really only so much time in a day. So it's important that we get the most out of our time because, well, current situation being what it is, we don't know what's around the corner. So I'm suggesting that you might want to take a weekly planner and divide up your days into things that you can be doing to move yourself forward, or at least not to fall any further behind, right? So what I'm going to lay out for you is divide up your days by business development, back office work, all this stuff that we don't like to do. And of course, make time for personal care. Because if you're not doing well, your business isn't going to do well, right? So when I say business development, it's all about now learning how to use technology, how to use video. That's an absolute must. No matter what your business is, if you have customers, you need to use video. Hence, today's morning Moxie. Let's get on that video. But really, maybe you need to look at your business model. Is it product oriented? Is it service oriented? And what can you deliver at a distance, right? So you might want to rethink your business model and make some changes if that's the case that needs to be. So the other thing I might want to suggest is that, what was the other thing? Oh, back office, right? So, I personally have always felt that to have well-run operations and long-term longevity, staying power for your business, you need to have some operations and ideally written procedures. So in the current environment, this would be a good time to put some attention on your operations and what can you do to streamline your processes, what can you do to reduce costs, and maybe how you can work better with your team if you have a team. So that's really something that you might want to spend some time on, and we can certainly talk about that if you like. And then, of course, personal care. What I have found that is that even working in an office environment, working from home, I just must move a lot less than I moved when I was working off site. And so it's important that you take some time to get up and move around. Now, I planted myself next to my kitchen window, and there's a park across the street, but there's a veritable parade past my window, so it's not like I'm feeling a sudden urge to go out and take a walk because there's so many people out there. But I look for times when there's less traffic, so then I do get up and take a walk. But my other favorite is to just get up and move. That might mean dancing. So I like to sometimes I'll have music playing in the background, and when a good song comes on, I will get up and, shake it a little bit, stretch the old muscles, get the heart rate going, And when I was working, what I would do is I would come home and dance 3 songs, right? That's a nice transition from the muck of the day and the transition into evening. And of course, that's a nice finish if you're close to getting your steps, right? You dance 3 songs, that's what, 1,200, 1,500 more steps that you have if you're tracking. So, what did I say? Manage your time, write it on a calendar, and plan it out so that you know that on Mondays, for example, you're working on maybe it's your social media, maybe that's your online posting, maybe that's your video content. So, business development, how are you reaching your clients and how are you growing your business? Um, I actually switched that, so that was actually more operations. But however you look at it, just divide up your day. And so maybe Tuesday is the back office portion where you are, if you have some filing, that's fine, but some record keeping, so make sure that you're getting all your expenses accounted for taxes, so you can get your deductions, or like I said, working on your policies and procedures, or writing a manual, if you will, so that your team can take some of the load off you, so they have a checklist and or instructions to follow, so you can tend to grow in your business. And then personal care. Whether you want to dance, whether you want to go for a walk, there's plenty of good videos on YouTube, and I like to take those videos, little piece together a 6-minute video, maybe a 30-minute video, and a 10-minute video, because I don't want to say I get bored easily, but I just like to mix it up a bit. So this has been way longer than I anticipated. But anyhow, I hope you've enjoyed today's morning Moxie. And thank you, Marcia, for waking me up. And I'm glad to know that I was missed, and I will try not to stay away quite so long next time. Until next time, this is Larisa saying ciao.